You know, as I said, we came from the Congo region. And all of us, as we were moving, we never had borders. As we did not have borders, we would go and hunt, and some of us would go for 3, 6 months or 2, 3, 20 years and go back. A practical example, it is when Shaka had an issue with people in the region that is called Natal. You know, it's a Portuguese word that I don't know. You know, in the upper region, or the down, they call it down, you know, what we would refer as the south. A lot of people left and went back via Limpopo, and they ended up in Malawi, you know. You know, who's in Malawi is Ngwana, you know, is the children of Ngwana. Who are the children of Ngwana? Is the same child of Zulu of Khateb. Why did they go back? You find the other ones today who were here, they went up to Tanzania. Now, why am I making an example of them? Some of them went to the Congo. You know, when I was in Kenya, for example, in Nairobi, I saw a person, his surname is Mbata. Mbata, you find them here in Natal. Now, this man is a very influential person in that country, Mbata. Okay. You go to Nigeria, you find people who have long cuts like this in their faces. You find them in the Eastern Cape. We call them Mama Paka, you know. What does it say to you? The same people that we call Messiah today, you find them in Msinga here in Natal, you know, who cut their ears, you know. Who are those people? Are the very same Bantu people who came from the Congo. You can see with their shoes. I use the same shoes that they are wearing. In Natal, they use the same shoes that they are wearing. The dress code, it is similar to our women in Natal. It's the same dress code of our women in Guyana. It is the same dress code in Guyana that is being used in South Sudan. Now, what does it mean? It means all of us are one. And as all of us are one, it simply means that those who came before and those who came after, why should we fight amongst each other? Why? It is because of ignorance, lack of knowledge. It is because we were colonized and we are so stupid that we don't even worry to say, why don't we go back and find out who are we? Our children, if they speak better English, and then we are so colonized, so deeply colonized, you know, to the extent of us being buffoons, stupids. We want our children, when they are born, they must speak English. And then your child, if he speaks English, is better than the other child next door. Because we are so colonized, so stupidly colonized. For you to speak English does not make you a better person. It makes you a more colonized person instead, if you want to know. But the most intelligent and the most educated person is the person who speaks his home language, who understands his culture, his traditions, his ways of doing things. That is the most educated person in the world than the one who does not know himself. Practical example. One ambassador of South Africa says, I was an ambassador in Washington. My daughter, I think is the daughter, asked me to assist her with an assignment. She says at school, they ask her to come up with a historical background. She says she comes, Daddy, where do we originate from? Says, I'm from Alexander Township. Alexander Township says, no, Daddy, I'm not saying Alexander Township. where do your parents originate from? Where do they come from? Not Alexander. He says, that's all what I know, my daughter. The daughter says, no, it's fine, thank you very much. The day of the presentation, he says the daughter invites her. The other children, they present. He says, when they call their name, he says, please stand up. He says, there is my father, does not know where he originates from. Please, daddy, sit down. Now, isn't it that it's so painful? But what I liked about him, the same ambassador, he came, he says, you know what? I really want to know who I am. He sent somebody here with a stick. He says, please download my origin. That is a man. He did not say, I'm an ambassador, I'm better than the other people. No, he came here. He sent somebody, that person parked here, he says, I'm sent by the ambassador. He says, he called me, says, thank you very much. Now I know who I am, and I'm very proud to be who I am. You know who's that man sent him? Nzapo. Oh. Yes. Tangi. It's a Congolese name, Nzapo. We call it Nzapo here in South Africa. Now he knows where he comes from. Now I am saying, imagine all of us, we know who we are. This issue of xenophobia, Afrophobia, it will be finished. Now remember, we gave birth to the Asians. We gave birth to them as the cradle of humankind. They like it or not, they come from us. That's why they are pigmented. They will say they are better off, but let me tell you, they come from us. If you go to the history of India, you find black people like us who are Bantu people. They are original inhabitants of that area. You go to Indonesia, same story. You go to Asia, the whole of Malaysia, same story. But let me tell you, the truth is that we are the people who gave birth to all of them. So there's no need for us to fight. There's no need for us to fight against each other. The cake is so big. You know, I read a book last time. It's written by David Icke. David Icke, he talks about the Anunnaki tribe. He says the Anunnaki tribe, there was a child by the name of Enlil and Enki. He says Enlil and Enki came from the same father, that is God, Anu. But the mothers were different. He says the wife, the mother to Enlil was the sister to Anu. The Enki came from the cousin sister. He says when Anu God, according to his God, you know, it's not my God, I'm just quoting from him. You know. He says Anu decided to ask for Enlil from the cousin sister to be responsible for this continent where there are minerals. He says that's where the fight started. Because these ones who come from Europe, they said, no, we come from the original mother. So why should this one own these things? According to David Icke, I think it's very important to read that book. He says that's where this fight started, and it will continue fighting because they feel that they are the rightful owners of these means of production, all this mineral. That's why they go and invade everywhere, and that's why they think they have authority. Because he says Enlil, he was the darker, the pigmented one skin. And the other one, he thinks he's the one who's the direct to the throne. It's a direct descendant of God and a direct descendant of Jesus Christ. That's why they refer themselves as the royal blood. And therefore they must rule the world. That's why their currency, according to David Icke, says their currency is more powerful than any currency in the world. That is the British. He says that's where the problem is. He goes on, David Icke, he says, when Princess Diana wanted to marry the pigmented skin one, they had to destroy her because she was going to introduce something different in the world. Now, it's very important to read that book. It's called The Biggest Secret of the World. So there's no need for us to fight. The cake is too big. It does not belong to them. We are relatives. We are one. It can be Enki, it can be Enlil, but we come from the same family. The fact remains is that the father is our father. The sperm is one, and that's it. There's no need for us to fight.